last segment. This is a shorter series, only 8 parts, though I did make the comment during a recent stream that if this was an older video back when there was still a 10-minute time limit, then this would probably be more like 20 parts, but
I remember those days.
I had a knack for ending exactly at 10:59, which was the absolute limit you could do. I would have the timer going while I was recording, and I'd always somehow manage to get up to a stopping point. And in the cases where I wouldn't, I'd just be like, "Okay, we're done," and that was just, those were always the best endings. Okay, oh, I can't go. Okay, done.
Time limitations.
I like this guy
there's
just
still
standing right there.
Just being a jerk. I will shoot you in the feet.
So yeah, I think this is Sector 1. This is like a weird area of it that is not connected to the rest, really, and it just...
These things again.
So,
oh, hey, you're a different color.
Yeah, so these guys are weird. They're supposed to be invincible from the front. But there's like a glitch in the way they're programmed where if you shoot at them and then turn around, then it works. Because it pays attention to the way you're facing compared to the way it's facing and not actually where you're hitting it. So it's like if you shoot and face away, the game assumes you shot it in the back. It's kind of weird coding. I don't know why they did that. But I'm thankful for it because they're a pain in the ass otherwise. It's like those ones from Super Metroid that just kind of throw their arms at you and
oh yeah,
those
things.
weird karate move guys. I don't know what their deal was.
Yeah, those were difficult.
I also don't know what the point of this room is because I power bomb it to see where the secrets are, and I'm pretty sure there just aren't any. I don't know, maybe there's a wall you can go through.
Random recharge room?
I don't know, because I mean it makes these guys show up and nobody wants to deal with them. I'm glad I knew the secret, because yeah. More float roaches.
I'll still call them rippers. Not as good as Speedy.
Speedy is pretty good. Is this the part where I die to an eye door?
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Not one of my prouder moments.
Well, said float roaches are getting in the way here.
I guess better than dying to a random bee.
Oh, that's a brutal door.
So here we've got our friend.
Hey! Just covered in dust. Oh! Oh, right.
He's,
he turned ugly.
Yeah, he becomes very ugly and very noisy. And, very, very annoying.
Death counter.
I still would not put this above Nightmare, but he might be worse than the spider. I really did not enjoy fighting Ridley. Because there isn't really much of a way to cheap him out from what I can tell. He just kind of floats really close to the ground most of the time where you can't avoid him.
I don't know why he changes... Oh, right, or the X-Virus, I guess, changes shape.
So, let's take a minute and talk about Ridley here. Do you think that it's the same one getting revived over and over, or do you think that this is like a whole species?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because how many times does he come back to life? 3 or 4?
You know, I'd say that it's probably a species, just going under the theory that I consider, Kraids to be a species, too. Because there's fake Kraid, so I imagine there's got to be other Ridleys.
I like fake Kraid. Went from just being a weird discolored one in the original game to just being a tiny one in Super Metroid.
Yeah, kind of like the fact that I kept him kicking around. Cool Ridley is actually playing kind of nice with you this time.
Yeah, it's just, the fireballs are homing, the tail is constantly moving up and down, and I'm pretty sure the tip of the tail does more damage than any other part of the body. And, I don't know, I eventually kind of learn a trick to this, but it's still really finicky and up to luck. one thing I eventually learned is to not really bother with the missiles and kind of save them as an emergency, because the charge beam actually does quite a bit more damage than the missiles do.
Oh, alright, you got an upgrade.
Like, I actually knew that going into the fight, because I remember reading that a long time ago, but I figured I've got the 10 missiles, I might as well use them. But when he gets into these phases with, like, the tail whip attack thing, what I'm doing here is absolutely not what you should be doing. Yeah, if he's doing that, that's basically an opportunity to get more shots off, because if you shoot him enough times during that, he'll kind of back off a bit. I did not know that at the time.
Death count for 7. You got them to change color once I saw it.
Yeah. So, unlike most of the other boss fights in this series, I actually leave in every version, like every attempt at this fight, and I'd start speeding them up after number 10. So, start guessing how many times it takes me to beat this.
I want to say 25.
Spoil it yet. I don't remember the exact number, but it's not 25. I think when you get grabbed, you can escape if you hit him with enough missiles really quickly, but...
Oh, hey, the diffusion. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I was hoping that would do extra damage. It didn't. I'm like, maybe I can charge up a few of these and get in some extra hits. Nope.
Or at least stun him for a second, something.
Like this pogo stick attack. It's been in, like, every game since Super. It's just super goofy looking.
Common Ridley species attack. It is a little bit odd, though.
Like, what is it supposed to be?
Just bouncing on my tail like Tigger. Oh, up to 10. Oh, hey, fast.
Yep.
What music is this?
This is the Brawl remix of the Ridley theme. So yeah, we get to see every little bit of this thing, because with some of the other bosses, what I would do is, like, I'd show the parts where like, if I got a little bit better than the last time, or if I learned a new trick, I'd show that in. This one, none of that ever really happened. Like, I pretty much everything I learned I've already explained. Just keep shooting, save the missiles, and that's about it. Like,
okay, so let's save the missiles now. You're dropping its color all the time now.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, some of these are like, you'd think that I would get consistently better, but there's some where I still die really early on, and I think it's just up to his movement patterns. I don't know if they're random, or if they're based on where I'm standing, or, like, where I'm shooting him from. Because there was an attempt, I think it might have been number 10, where he seemed to be a lot higher off the ground than usual and was, like, consistently staying up there, and I could never really get that to happen again.
Close to 25.
But yeah, screw Ridley.
Cool music, though. Not sure about the actual game.
The Fightin' Zero mission, I'm gonna say, is a lot better than this one. Like, when I did the low percent of that game, I was in hard mode, I had 2 missiles and a super missile, and that was it. I didn't have charge beam, and yet I'd still consider it easier than this fight.
My favorite Ridley fight ever? Was it in Metroid Prime 1 where you're falling down the giant shaft and you're kind of like falling after it and shooting at him?
That was Prime 3, but yeah, that was a pretty good fight.
That was a good one.
Overall, I don't like Prime 3 as much as the first 2, but it definitely had its moments, and that was one of them. It was a lot more.
Like my prediction was wrong.
It was a lot more dramatic, I guess you'd say. Like, just a lot of the boss fights had more of a, I hesitate to say gimmick, but they were
more
just
interesting than just like the usual side view type thing, or whichever view. The timer that went with it, that was pretty cool.
Which one?
With the falling down the pit after Ridley type of thing, there was that timer going with it there. Or distance meter.
Right. And I like at the end when you just shove a missile down his throat. Like, come on, dude, you've come back to life so many times now, just go away. Like, I've... Let's actually take a second and go through it, because I've gone through this before in other videos, but going by the official timeline, you fight him in the original /0 mission, which is the same game. He's in Prime 1 as Meta Ridley, then Prime 3 as Omega Ridley, then doesn't show up in Prime 2, or Metroid 2. He's in Super Metroid just as the, like, regular version again. He's no longer cybernetic. Then he's in Other M after evolving from a Furby, and now he's in this as an X-Parasite, so, yeah.
I completely lost count of how many that was. I was trying to keep count. Lots.
Pretty convinced that the one from Super Metroid's gotta be a different one at that point, because obviously that was made before the Prime trilogy was thought up, but I don't really see how he would become, like, un-cyber. Like...
Yeah, he's all a robot at that. We'll just run with it being a Ridley species.
There we go. I don't know what I did differently that run, but I beat him.
Hey!
And let's not die to the stupid X-Parasite. So yeah, that was 37 deaths, so number 38 was the winning one.
Way off.
I actually remembered it being in the 40s.
I just felt that way. Ooh, a red one.
Oh, right, it's because I think the, I did all of this in one, recording session instead of breaking it up, and that's why I kept all the footage. I think it took, like... I think I was at, like, 46 or 47 minutes by the time I beat it, and, like, before I had done that, I was saying, like, okay, if I get to an hour and still can't beat him, then I'm gonna look up a video. But, did not have to.
Yay! And where's the save station? Oh, there's a save station. Ah, safety.
And do we have a weird edit here? Yeah, I remember just kind of standing around for a while because that was two different videos being spliced together and I didn't want to mess it up, I don't know.
That worked.
So now we've got the screw attack. That's the last item. There's not much left to do.
Go back to that lump in the ground, I suppose.
If I was getting items, I would.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, this is the point of the game where if you're doing 100%, as soon as you... Basically, as soon as you leave this area and go to a nav room, it triggers a cutscene where Adam basically is like, this is your final mission, you need to go do this, and he locks off all access to the sectors at that point. So you have to get every single item before doing that, and so that means you have to discover all the hidden pathways between them, and it's just kind of unreasonable without a guide.
Yeah, that's annoying. Here's the one item, and then immediately we're gonna take away your, like, ability to, like, search the... everything? Ah.
Yeah, not a fan of how they handled that. Like, it makes sense for the story, but it's annoying.
Yeah, kind of limits gameplay a little.
Also, that was totally a hatched Metroid egg.
Oh, didn't you notice?
I think there'll be another one in a coming up room.
Another Crocmire's play pods.
I forgot about those.
That's how he got the Metroids to like him. He smelled like Metroid.
Still want to know how he attached that vine to the ceiling. Like, how did that go? It was like, well, how did you save me? Oh, well, I swung from the rope. But how did you get the rope on the ceiling? Well, I climbed up the rope. It's like... Yeah, I think there's one in here.
Oh, hey, this place.
Where is it? I know I go through another one of them. It's just... It's a big shell-looking thing, and... Yeah.
Didn't actually have a Metroid close to it, or probably down some side tunnel, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Because they were doing the breeding in a different area, so I guess they... Like, this is the SR-388 zone, so it would make sense for them to be here. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the SAX kind of broke apart everything, so I guess they just kind of, like, spread out and stuff.
Kind of weird that you don't encounter any.
Yeah. They're hiding. Oh, the zombie things, I forgot about you.
Yeah, the very unthreatening zombie dudes.
So forgettable. Never. Oh, hey, charged for the Navry.
Indeed.
We're done.
Screw it. Just gonna blow the place up.
Bail.
See, I'm getting the impression that the Federation is really stupid. Every single time they find some kind of extremely dangerous life form that can wipe out, like, the entire universe, they're like, hey, we should research it and make it our own. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yay, bravo, Samus.
Yeah, this game actually does have pretty high stakes in it. I never really got that impression from most of the other ones, where they always say that the Metroids are like this huge threat, but, like, I mean, yeah, they
these
can...
things are the big thing.
Yeah, it's like they can suck the life out of stuff, and they're hard to kill, but they're not...
Yeah, these things take your knowledge and stuff and, like, all corrupt it and stuff, whatnot.
Yeah, they're infinitely reproducing, and they just basically absorb everything that they touch. I think these are a lot worse.
Which means we should keep the Metroids around because they will eat this thing, so let's just kind of give the Metroids and these things their own planet and they can just kind
let's
of do their
store
thing.
the charge for the second half of the cutscene.
Open it!
Somebody made an edit of this scene where she goes, open the pod bay doors at him, and he's like, I can't let you do that, Samus. And it's very fitting. Reminds me, since we're coming up on the end here, I will mention my very old plans for this. Back before I even planned on making this a co-commentary run, probably like 5 years ago, I planned on giving Adam some kind of distinctive voice. I hadn't planned on a specific one, and this was before I had started doing like the Patreon stuff or anything. And I was going to do a credit sequence in which he sings Still Alive from Portal. And then I basically rewrote that into the tech from Thousand Year Door doing it instead. And as a sequel to the Adam singing Still Alive, I was going to do a thing for Pokemon Platinum, where at the end there was the song from Portal 2, Want You Gone. And the fact that the Cleffa in that run was going to be named Caroline came into play because Caroline was also in that song. So it's like I had all this stuff planned out, and then it just kind of never happened.
Oh.
Which is fine by me, because I don't think it would have been that great anyway. So, yeah, at this point, it's basically just a straight shot to the end. I'm kind of just, like, right now I'm panicking, not sure if there's actually an accessible save room on the way, because I didn't save before the cutscene, so...
Yeah, I didn't see one offhand. That cutscene took forever.
A little bit.
Guess it was actually, like, you know, giving plot and stuff.
Yeah, who cares?
There's a save. Locked.
Indeed. Yeah, I was actually worried it was going to be, but no, you have to pass through it to get to the place, so... I'm good.
Target.
Target, target! Pass through 97 Navrums, luckily, that's a good word. Luckily not having to actually do anything in them.
Yeah. Would it say anything if you stepped on them?
I think it would just reiterate the last thing. Like,
Yeah,
go up
keep
to the
going to your
control
target.
room and blah blah blah.
music change.
So here we go.
Oh,
And immediately lose almost all my health.
Screw attack versus screw attack.
Can we get off a single shot? What do you know? I did. And there we go.
Oh.
So, yeah, this is another one of those, yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah, there was, there's a few tricks to this boss. There's one where I think you can just stand in a specific spot and, like, keep shooting through the floor at it, and it won't be able to hit you. I tried to find a video of that, and I didn't look very hard, but I didn't find it. I did find a different trick, which I'll be showing in a minute here. But these first few attempts are me basically trying to fight it legit.
Just kind of leading it off down a path and
Yeah, it's like my goal is basically to get it to kind of jump up onto these center platforms so that I can like get a cheap shot at it and then keep leading it around in a circle. But
at least it looks like its bullets don't hurt you when you're screw attacking.
yeah, if I'm screw attacking, I actually can't be hit by anything other than its screw attack. But there's also no way for me to damage it in that form, so. Come on. Not a bad final boss.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as hard as Nightmare, but I mean, the whole game was kind of leading up to this, I suppose.
Yeah, I do kind of like the concept of fighting yourself, which I guess is the same as with the corruption. What should you call it?
The Dark
one in the
Samus
Prime
from-
series where it's the Dark Samus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look at a video.
Blow everything up. Screw it. It's dead to me.
Did it say this was number 17 or something?
Roughly, yeah. I stopped counting after a while, because I deleted a bit of footage at one point.
Yeah.
But,
What if you did the speed boost thing into it? I wonder if that'd hurt it much.
I don't know if I'd be able to. But anyway, here's the trick, basically. You just kind of shoot it while it's on the ground and don't give it a chance to do anything else.
Okay, just keep it ground-based.
Yeah, it's a really simple strategy, and I'm surprised that I didn't just try doing this anyway, but I thought it would be easier to keep it airborne. I don't know.
Definitely working pretty good.
Not sure how many hits it takes.
Oh, hey.
Now it transforms into whatever the hell this thing is,
Just a conglomeration of all of the enemies.
which dies in like 2 hits, except the game kind of glitches out a bit here.
Really? That's all it took?
Yeah, I don't know what the point of this phase is. I guess it's just to kind of, like, be surprising. Catch you
You
off
made a
guard.
cool looking sprite. Can you shove it somewhere? Sure.
Pretty much. Come on. I'm just trying to get my health back.
Yeah,
So,
just screw attacking through it.
yeah, so I had learned from when Joel played through this that you can get this thing stuck onto the platform here, and
Oh,
it's
hey.
a really easy way to kill it. I wasn't doing it correctly, though, so...
Oh!
I like my little edits. Like just trying to get it down on the ground at this point. Yeah, I'm thankful that this turned out to actually not be too hard of a fight, because I really didn't want to have to keep redoing this one over and over. At this point, I was just, like, so done with this game.
Oh!
I am not completely ruling out the possibility of doing a 100% run of it, either in a stream or another LP at some point, but not particularly wanting to do that anytime soon.
Phase 2 again.
Stupidest phase ever. It's like the final boss of the first Castlevania, where you fight Dracula and then it just kind of transforms into this weird, undefined mess. Like, AVGN called it the Cookie Monster. But yeah, if you stand right here, it can't do anything, because it aims up and left for some reason, and you can just shoot down at it, so...
Nice.
Nice way to cheap it out. Gotta point out also, the first form of the SAX, when it would hit me with the Ice Beam, usually it would do, like, 80 damage and I'd just barely survive. Sometimes it would be an instant kill. Not sure why. It was really arbitrary.
Get back here, you.
Nah, it's just gone.
I'm supposed to absorb you.
So, time to blow up another planet. So we blew up ZBs. Let me think.
SR-388.
Yeah, we're about to blow that one up right now. I'm trying to think in the Prime series. You blow up Phase, but I think that's the only one. The rest of them are okay.
Now we just ravage at the surfaces of them. Well, 2.5 minutes. It's a shorter-ish time.
Yeah, this timer can be a little bit tight if you get lost like I did. I at least thought to check early on, thankfully. Can't save in the middle of the timer, of course. And, yeah, just depending on how prepared you are for the ending, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think I ever had a problem with, I think actually only Metroid 1 was the timer that kind of caused me problems.
And that's just because jumping up that shaft is irritating.
Yeah.
I usually do that trick where you kind of roll off a ledge in the ball and then jump in midair. So anyway, yeah, remember those Metroid eggs? They actually did have a reason.
Guess this would be the Omega Metroid?
Yep.
Oh!
And this is totally not at all a reference to the ending of Super Metroid.
Not whatsoever.
Nope. No,
So
I don't
you're
mind
the friend
it.
of the SAX. Yay!
Super Metroid.
By the way,
really
it just
cool
hates
ending. I don't mind them
Metroids
paying
more than
homage
you.
to it.
Yoinked. Ah, finally absorbed ya.
Yep, so we now have the Ice Beam, which was supposed to be incompatible with the suit. I'm not sure why it's working now. And just play a bit of hit and run here, because I'm pretty sure if I got hit again, I'd probably die immediately. That first one is always scripted to take you down to 1 health, no matter how much energy you have. After that, he probably does more than a full tank.
That'd probably stand to reason. Pretty cool looking there.
And there we go, that's the game.
Hey! There's the ship.
Dance a little bit.
And nuke the place on your way out.
Yeah, might as well, it's gonna blow up anyway.
It looks pretty damaged as is. Off you go.
Actually, you don't blow up the whole planet here, do you? You just kind of blow up the space station?
Yeah, just the space station. The planet's fine.
So yeah, for anybody who actually cares about the, like, plot and ending of this game, you are welcome to read it. I am not going to be reading every bit of it, so whatever.
Yeah.
But,
Not paying attention to half the story anyway.
But yeah, as far as Metroid games go, like I've said before, this one's far from my favorite. But the story of it is actually pretty decent. I'm kind of glad that they attempted it. Don't know if I'd necessarily want them to do it again, because they did try it again in Other Rim and it didn't work out, so...
I can still see them making a sequel off of this and still absorbing X-Parasites or something somehow.
Well, I mean, the X are supposed to be gone, but keeping in mind the Metroids were supposed to be gone like 5 times, then yeah, I'm sure they could come back in some way. But, yeah, I'd be interested to see a sequel of this, because at this point you're basically a fugitive. Like, you've uncovered
You're half Metroid.
It's like you've uncovered the breeding ground and you destroyed the entire base, and basically you're directly disobeying the Federation at this point, so...
They're a little pissed at ya. Oh, hey you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the whole, like, Adam's personality being uploaded to a computer thing. It's kind of weird. Like, because at first I thought it was just an AI that basically existed to give orders, but now it seems to actually have kind of like a personality and feelings and stuff, so I don't know.
Learning AI type thing? Something. It's
Yeah.
the future. They found out how to shove people's brains in hard drives.
I mean, isn't that pretty much what Mother Brain is? It's like an organic computer.
No, yeah, I guess so. You're still sitting at 95% uploaded.
What was I gonna say? I don't really remember. Oh yeah, just the animal ending. It's like I just love how it's like this completely minor optional thing you can do at the end of Super Metroid to save the animals, and then they're like just vitally important to the end of this game, where somehow the computer instructed them to like push buttons and pull levers to fly the ship to you. Like, how did that work?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that one. So they listened to you like you were just talking out of the computer or something?
It's like Carl Pilkington pushes the button, gets a banana. But
Super Mario Club. Special things.
so since this is pretty much over here, did you have any last minute things that you wanted to mention?
Yep, read Planet Zebeth.
I
No,
do
otherwise it's all
recommend
good.
It is a comic in which 90% of it is random wandering, and yet it still manages to be funny.
Thank you. Executive producer.
Don't know if those names were listed like backwards or something. That was kind of weird. Like, I know Japanese names kind of reverse the first name, last name, but I've not really seen them be like that in the English translation.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention for that. Got cool spikies on your arms now.
It might be
You
a
do
little
look pretty
bit much.
badass.
Let me just turn into a weird effect here.
Well, at least you can take your helmet off and that's not permanently fused. The rest of the suit, it's slimming at least.
If I had been under 2 hours, I don't know if I would have gotten a different ending. I might have. But yep, there's that 0%.
Hey! So long,
Giant
Samus.
arm spikes.
See you next mission.
If there ever is one. Nintendo, please make another one.
I agree.